What's going on, guys? Jay Tsuro, Jay with the Pay. Hope you're doing well and swell. Back with another video. Today I want to talk about how to make money, how you can make money, not financial advice, however, but let's get into it in some ways that I have found and discovered that you can have some financial gain. So the obvious one is your 9 to 5, number one, right? Your main source of income, how you make your living, whether you're a construction worker, you're a truck driver, you're in finance, you're in health, medical, whatever, right? Does not matter. But this is going to be the most consistent way that you earn money. And what I have found, I have no college background, I have no college degree or anything like that. I just went to the University of YouTube University. But anyways, if you go to college or you get some type of extra certifications that basically, is more specific and it's a skill, that can help you net more money. Now, ways you can make a decent living without college is for sure the trades, right? Like plumbers, electricians, construction, all that stuff, all those trades, I shouldn't say just stuff, but all those trades, they make pretty good money and there's no college with them, right? Now, there might be extra certifications, right? Maybe auto mechanic. I know the certifications is like the ASEs, I believe. So if you know how to do that stuff, it's always going to be in demand. Or at least in my opinion, right? It's going to be here for a while. Now, once you have your 9 to 5, right? That's number one. You got to have a job. So if you're trying to, watch this video and you're like, how to make money? First step, you got to have a job, okay? Whether you're self-employed and you've got your own schedule you can do, but you've got to work towards something and, keep yourself busy. So first steps first, you got to have a job. If you want to make more money with your job, you got to have, certain skills, extra certifications, or you're doing some type of crazy work, right? Like truck driving possibly can make money, but you're going to be on the road and your health is probably going to take a hit. I mean, it's just a fact, right? But there might be some money in that. Same thing with some of the trades, right? Like they make money, but there is possibly some danger associated with them, right? You could get hurt. Or I would say higher chance of getting hurt as opposed to, white collar, cushy job, right? So, but that's going to be the first way you make money. The second way is going to be just investing. Now, a huge caveat with investing. Investing takes forever. Like, I'm not even going to lie. If you guys haven't looked into it at all, you need probably at least like $100,000 to $250,000 to even make $1,000 in dividends. I don't know about you guys, but that's a crap ton of money to, just have. And then even at that point, you're only making about $1,000. Like, I can't live off of $1,000 a month. I don't know about you guys. Maybe you can. If you can, that's great. Just freaking get yourself to $100,000, $250,000 in the stock market. Live off of that, and then, start a business or do whatever you want with your time if you can afford that. But, yeah, number two is going to be the stock market. Now, it takes forever, but obviously it does work. It's been around for a while. So that's going to be number two. It does take some time. I've seen some gains, and you just got to, have time in the market, and eventually you will see some extra money, and you're going to get a higher return than, traditional savings account, that sort of thing. Number three we're going to discuss is investing in other things, right? Now, I am a big proprietor of real estate. I've had decent luck with real estate. Is it a get rich fast? No, it is a get rich slow, as they say. But real estate, it works. It's not hassle-free, right? Like, it's going to require you to do some work. You got to manage the property. You got to fix the property. You got to maintain the tenants, everything. It has a lot of stuff with it. There's some headache, but you get, tax benefits, you get appreciation, which is 4 to 5% a year, which is pretty much like a forced savings account for you in a way that is going to, generate some monthly cash flow if it was a good deal. Now, this is why I would personally, and again, not financial advice, but I prefer real estate over stocks because, as I just said in the previous way to quote unquote make money, you need a lot of money in the stock market to get a decent dividend per month. To whereas real estate, you can buy a property with zero down sometimes, or even 3.5% down, FHA, live in it for a year, and then you rent it out, and then your cash flow could be $300, $400, $500 a month, and all you had to put was maybe a few thousand to 10 grand into the thing, right? So that's a huge difference between stonks and the real estate. Okay, but just investing in general. If you don't want to do the stock market, real estate, there's other, vehicles you can look at. Some people like the Bitcoin, some people like gold and silver, collectibles. I'm into Pokemon cards myself, but it's more so a hobby. I try not to look at it as much as an investment as some people, but maybe you do want to do that, and that's fine. But for me, I kind of like it just as a hobby. So anyways, let's move on. Number 4 is going to be your own business, right? And guys, let me also, before we get on this last one, guys, making money, it can be difficult, right? So don't let everybody fool you when they say, oh, how to get rich quick, or, buy my course or whatever. I'm not selling you anything. I don't care if you watch this video. This is for my own, fun and entertainment, really. But if you did get something out of this, I do appreciate that. But anyways, don't let people tell you that making money is easy, right? It's difficult. This is what we all work for. If it was easy, everybody would have rich. The cards are stacked against us, right? The odds are stacked against us. And you've got to do whatever you can to, have an advantage and work towards having a better future for yourself, your family, friends, etc., right? So this last one is going to be your own business. Guys, this is a scary one, but this is going to possibly have the best ROI for you. Now, when you want to do a business, all right, you want to look at something that is going to be essential, right? So if I'm like, I want to go start a basket weaving business, maybe it does good, right? Maybe. Okay, I'm not saying that there's not a use for it, or, that's a business you have your heart on doing, to don't do it. But what I will say is what I've learned and what I've seen is businesses that deal with insurance companies make a crap ton of money. Let me give you some examples. I don't know in your guys' area, but have you seen that roofing companies are everywhere? Why is that? Well, it's because they get paid and they chase the insurance company, and also there's always storms and damages and all that stuff, etc. So, but a lot of times they get paid by the insurance company, right? Another one is, healthcare, home health aides. That fall was nasty, by the way, in the gameplay. Did not expect that, but we did die. Anyways, but anything that deals with insurance, if that's the main client, you're going to get paid money. So if you can start a business around that, like you've got roofing, you've got home health care, anything that deals with insurance, just think on that. But overall, your own business is going to be the most lucrative and craziest investment. It is, a lot of risk, but you have unlimited ROI. If it's a good business, you can make however much you want a year. Now, the other thing is eventually if you grow your business, really big, you have the option, you could probably sell to a competitor. And that's how a lot of people get rich, is they build a business and then they sell it to somebody else and make a bunch of money. So anyways, this is just, my perspective on some things, not financial advice. But if you guys got something out of the video, how to make money, it's not easy. Let me tell you that. It's not easy. I thought I'd be multi-millionaire by now. But it is doable, and you do, move up little by little if you implement some of these things or take action. And at the end of the day, taking action is the biggest thing that you can do. But if you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. This is Jay Tsuro. Thank you. Bye.